Hello and welcome to my channel and my Blue Mermaid video. This is a customization and collaboration that I'm doing with Terry over at Tapping Flamingo and Marna at Dolls Rescued. I have their channels linked down below with an @ so after you watch my video, pretty please watch it to the end. YouTube sure likes that. Please make sure you click on each of those links down below so you can see what they've done for their mermaid videos. The three of us were just chitty-chatting one day about mermaids and dolls, and well, we decided to make mermaid dolls. I'm going to briefly tell you about my process. First, show you the doll, what she looked like before, and then I will have some video clips and photos and that kind of thing at the end to show you the final results. Alright, I'm getting ready to take her apart. Yeah, this is going to be my next customization type project. I've mentioned her a couple times before, but she, I hope, is going to turn into a mermaid. She's missing one of her eye chips here, but it is inside her head, okay? Yeah, so this was a doll that was gifted to me, thank you very much, to a super sweet viewer, and I thought this hair would just be perfect to turn into a mermaid. It kind of reminds me of like seaweed, the color of, you know, seaweed, I guess. But anyway, yes, first I got to take her apart and get that eye chip out, though. I tried a few new to me techniques for this doll, starting with her eye chips. I went ahead and tried the glue stick method, which I show a picture of here. Basically, you take a lighter, you light the end of a glue stick and get it all hot, then pop it onto an eye chip, let it sit there for about 10 minutes, and then pull it out, and it worked perfectly. I got the eye chips out, no problemo. Along with switching out some of her eye chips for some customized eye chips, and also, by the way, I gave her new eyelashes too. That was a new thing for me as well. I also did a little bit of carving and more sanding than I have probably in the past. So yeah, here's a little clip where I talk about it. Wow, no lie, this is taking forever, but I almost have all of her lipstick off. I did a little bit of carving down here. I've got to clean that up a little bit. I think I've got all of her, oh, there's a little eyeshadow I still got to do, but woo-wee. Now she is matte, so I don't know if that makes a difference. Honestly, this is the first time I've ever taken any kind of sandpaper to a faceplate like this, so I don't know, but yeah, this is taking a lot of muscle. Additionally, I gave her sleepy eyes and I painted her eyelids. Again, you'll see all this with the finished doll at the end. And then after that, of course, it was time to make her mermaid tail. And I started with some pink fabric. I made a mermaid tail that I liked pretty well, but then I realized it just wasn't the right color for her. So I actually bought more fabric in a different color and I recreated the mermaid tail again. I think I am still kind of perfecting my technique there, but I think it turned out pretty decent. It was a little tricky having to sew on this super stretchy fabric, which I had to do a lot of it by hand. So some of it's by hand, some of it I did on the machine. Because I enjoyed this so much and I really am happy with the finished product, which I'm going to show you any minute now, I decided to go ahead and make a second mermaid. I have a pink mermaid tail already, and so of course that means I have to make a pink mermaid, right? So make sure you have subscribed to my channel and hit the bell icon for notifications, and that way you'll get to see what the next mermaid doll looks like. But let me segue now into showing you the finished customized dolly. All right, here she is, everybody. I have her sitting on some stones and shells, fragments and things that I have picked up on the beach. I aspire someday to create some type of throne for her, but right now I just kind of set them here for photography purposes. But yeah, here she is. I'm going to pick her up and show you her in a little bit more detail, but I just want to give you an overall view of her before I do that. So she's all in colors of blue, teal, green, that sort of thing. And then, of course, I've got shells and beads and colored hemp. But yeah, let me show you her in a little bit more close-up and personal here. I'll pick her up and I'll show you the different eye chips. But let me show you her face real quick here while she's sitting here. So this is my first attempt at doing a small amount of carving. I gave her some nostrils. I carved her mouth a little bit. And let's see, like I said, I changed out her eye chips. I changed out her eyelashes. Oh, she also, I suspected that somebody had boggled her eyes because they were like super huge and you couldn't see her eyelids at all. So I switched out the little, I can't remember what, little tabby thing. I can't remember what the name of that thing is. Inside the thing that you can kind of like file it off so that her eyes get bigger. But I like to see a little bit of their eyelids, especially since I paint them. And then I also did some freckling on her face a little bit. I figured she's pale because she's under the water so much. She's not a tan mermaid, but every once in a while when she comes out and she sees the sun and she spends some time out above water, of course she's going to get some freckles from the sun. All right, so let me pick her up and show you her in a little bit more detail. So here's her mermaid tail. It's basically just a tube, and then I made some fins down here that I stuffed. So there's some stuffing in those little fins of hers. I made this little necklace. It's colored hemp with some beads and shells that I picked up on the beach, and little pieces of shells that I picked up on the beach. They already had holes in them, and so and I just frayed and used a little bit of crochet techniques as well to make her necklace so that it covers up her tatas. She has some pointy ears, and there were a couple different kinds that I was looking to use, but after trying them both on her, I decided these were the best. I added a little bit of bling on there as if she had a piercing. And so the top part here, this is kind of like a crown, and it kind of moves around. It has little pieces and little pieces that I connected. So I wire wrapped the main shell, and then I attached it to some hair that I pulled back and put in a ponytail. I also added a little bit of glitter and Mod Podge, and then added some charms and beads. Really like how this headpiece turned out. So yeah. And then what else did I do to her? Oh, of course, her pole rings. Let's see her pole charms here. The pole charms have, again, more shells that I picked up on the beach. You guys, if you've been watching my channel, I've been sharing my beach trips with you. And so I look for shells that already have holes in them. So these are shells that I've actually picked up, along with beads that are just in my bead stash from my jewelry making days. So these are eye chips that actually the person who gave me this doll, she also gave me some eye chips. And so this was in that stash there. So let me close your eyeballs up. I'm trying to remember which. I always forget which is which. All right. So those are her closed eyelids. I did blue acrylic paint covered with Mod Podge and glitter. And you can see how thick her eyelashes are. Much thicker than the ones that she came with. Oh, I also did a little bit of Mod Podge over her lips after, of course, you know, obviously I did a face up a little bit here too on the lips and the freckling. All right, so this is another pair of chips that was in the collection of chips that I was donated, and I thought they look kind of cool looking on her. They're pinkish, orangish, yellowish. So those are those. And then these are the ones that were in her head already, and one had popped out, so I just fixed those, no big deal. And then I think the next ones are some of her original ones. Yeah, I thought these blue ones were pretty, so I went ahead and kept those in. But yeah, I'm super happy with how she turned out. I'm so psyched to do another one. I have plans to do the pink one next, so keep an eye out for her. And yeah, I'll go take some more pictures and share some more photos with you, but otherwise, that's the dolly. Let me know what you think down below. Have you ever tried to make a mermaid doll, or do you have any mermaid dolls, even if you haven't made them? I'm curious. What do you think about mermaids? I'm kind of getting into the whole fantasy doll thing lately. As usual, I always appreciate a thumbs up. Please have a wonderful dolly day. Bye-bye.